My wife sees me as a credit card and my daughter is going down the wrong path. I just want to run away. My wife and I are both 45 and have been together for just over 25 years. We celebrated our silver anniversary last year where I got her an engraved watch and some earrings and she got me some novelty socks. Truthfully, I've known for a few years now that she sees me as a credit card, but the real issue is our daughter. She's 23 and used to be such a little angel. I'd have gladly shouldered any sort of pain just to see a smile light up her face again, and I used to think I had the perfect little family with my girls. I loved them both so much. When my daughter was 16 we sent her to a boarding school, not because we wanted her out of the house or some time away from her, but because it was one of the best schools in the country. She was very excited about going and we set her up with a bank account so that she could have money to tide her over for travel and miscellaneous things. At first she'd come home every weekend all giddy and full of smiles, but by the end of the first term she'd fallen in with the wrong crowd. To cut a long story short, by the time she'd reached 18 she'd gone through every single trope you could imagine. I was getting calls almost every week from her house mistress about drugs, alcohol, violence or sex. She was constantly begging for money despite me providing her with a generous stipend each month, and it all came to a head when she needed money for a school trip that turned out to be bogus. Eventually the school gave us the choice of removing her from the school rather than tarnishing her with an expulsion. Her moving back home wasn't any different. She'd be often enough gone for days, and when I'd try to get her back on the right track I was fighting both her and her mother. I was being too controlling, I was going to push her away. She's a free spirit. I just wanted her to get back on her feet. I managed to convince her to get some qualifications, and last year she was accepted to university. I thought things were perking up at that. She was due to start in September and I agreed to pay her tuition so that she'd not have to worry about the loan. Granted, I was naive here and should have investigated, but I believed her story that the money had to come from her account as it was linked by her name, and she even showed me a fake email from the university confirming this. I sent her the first year's tuition. Lo and behold, though she'd not attending online classes or doing any work, she's back to being away from home for days at a time. Turns out she never accepted the offer and just took the money. My wife sees no issue with this. She doesn't want to discipline our daughter, and I have been threatened with divorce multiple times in the past 12 months if I try to change things. I simply can't take it anymore. I can't see my little girl continue to go down this path, and without support from my wife I honestly just want to get a quick divorce, give her anything she wants and then disappear into the night. I'm at wit's ends really. There's no one I can even talk to about this, as all my friends are my wife's friends and I can't trust anyone. Divorce. Stay in your daughter's life. Stop giving her money. Once someone starts threatening divorce to get their own way or to manipulate you, then the relationship is dead. You are correct that you should get the divorce. Whoever, don't just give her what she wants. She gets what's fair and that's all. Don't reward her for her terrible behavior, as it will set a bad example to your daughter. Keep fighting for your daughter. She will need you, but that doesn't mean you have to bankroll her bad lifestyle. Your daughter has forged letters and consequently has stolen money from you. Stop giving her money. If she wants to fund the lifestyle she wants, she needs to do it on her own dollar. I would also cancel any credit cards in her name that you pay for, and if your wife complains, cancel hers as well. Sounds to me like you're not going to be able to discipline your daughter. She's an adult and the only thing you can do is stop giving her money. If your wife is threatening divorce a lot, it doesn't speak to her respecting your relationship much, now does it? You might be best served to call her bluff one of these days. Talk to a lawyer about getting a divorce. You need to accept responsibility for raising an entitled child. That wasn't just your wife. You threw money at problems and didn't address what was really going on with your child, and now she is an adult who doesn't know how to live in the real world. You have a lot of work to do to set boundaries and figure out how to be the parent of an adult child who you enabled. You have every right to seek divorce and should get therapy to help you deal with all the changes in your life. Boyfriend, 25M, slept with my friend, 25F. I just found out yesterday. 1 year later. Need advice on how to move forward. Me and my boyfriend are both 25 and have been dating for 4 years. We met in college, moved to a new city together after graduation, and built a new life together. Our relationship was one filled with so much laughter and joy. He was truly my best friend. It was a healthy relationship from my perspective and through the perspective of others, friends, family, co-workers, etc. It seemed like everyone was rooting for us. Here comes the plot twist. A little more backstory. There was a period of time that I traveled semi-regularly for work. There was one assignment I had where I was going to be gone for a month straight. This occurred shortly after I moved to the new city. So I sent my boyfriend the number of my best friend in the city. Let's call her Megan. Megan and my boyfriend had met several times through me, and I thought it would be good if they could hang out while I was gone, because neither of them had many friends in the new city because we had all been there less than half a year. Megan, my first and closest female friend in this new city, came over last night. She told me that she and my boyfriend went out when I was traveling for work with a group of people which I knew about and was cool with. She then went on to say they blacked out, had sex, and woke up naked in his bed. This all happened a year ago and she just told me now. I told her to leave. I told my boyfriend to come over, confronted him, and he admitted it. They both did it for a year. This is an isolated incident. My boyfriend and I had never had any issues about trust or cheating or anything like this before. I truly thought I was going to end up with this man, and before yesterday nothing would have made me happier. Update: both of them are out of my life. Thank you all for the feedback and support. I would move on from him. Not only did he cheat, but he felt okay keeping it from you for a year. He only admitted because he got outed. Who knows how much longer he would have kept it a secret. Another year? Forever? Leaving you completely oblivious? I don't know about you, but I think any normal person would be wrecked with guilt, and I tell their significant other. Drop the man and drop the friend. If you need support, let me know. I know you must be hurting badly. My messages are open. Thank you so much for the kindness. I might take you up on that. And I think you bring up a really good point. He was never going to tell me. Break up and don't look back. My boyfriend and I had never had any issues about trust or cheating or anything like this before. Actually, he's been lying to you for a year. I truly thought I was going to end up with this man, and before yesterday nothing would have made me happier. Relationships are fragile, which is why you need a really solid person to spend your life with. He's not it. Alcohol isn't an excuse to cheat. People get drunk all the time without cheating. This is gross. He slept with your friend after being out with a group of your mutual friends. There is a chance that more people know. He jeopardized your sexual health and betrayed you. Wasn't even the one that told you she did, and only to what? Alleviate her own guilt? It's all bullshit, and it was a continued effort to keep the truth from you. The last year of your relationship has been maintained via deception. Friend group wasn't of mutual friends. I hadn't met any of them. Doesn't make anything better, just clarifying. Agree she wasn't doing it to be a good friend. A good friend wouldn't have waited a year. The guilt totally got to her. I told her today that I think it's best we go our separate ways, and a friendship with her wouldn't be healthy. Removed her from all social media and blocked her. It's not an isolated incident. They hid this from you every day, for 365 days. Every day they made the choice to keep deceiving you. True. After this happened, I still hung out with both of them together, and there were at least 2 times where it was just the 3 of us. Thinking back on that makes me absolutely sick, like they both knew and acted like everything was normal. My girlfriend is a Karen towards retail workers and wait staff, and it's really hurting our relationship. I'm 28M, she's 28F. First of all, I wish there was a better way to express the title. I know some people take issue with the Karen meme, but this was the easiest way to succinctly summarize the issue. My girlfriend and I have been together for 2 years. She's great, friendly, considerate, funny, smart, and our sex life is great. I can think of no major issues in our relationship, except for one. Whenever there is even the smallest hiccup while we are shopping, eating out, or on the phone with a customer service rep, my girlfriend snaps through this bizarre Jekyll and Hyde transformation escalation and becomes a complete, ruthless, unrelenting Karen. Sometimes, there doesn't even need to be a hiccup. She just escalates out of nowhere. And it happens without fail. This had happened many times, but I will provide two brief examples. The first, she needed to return an item that was defective, so we went to the customer service desk. She didn't have a receipt, so the money would have to come back on a store gift card. No big deal for me, but for her, it may as well have been a scandalous assault on her rights as a consumer. She insisted, in a rude and condescending tone of voice, that she would not accept a store credit, it needed to be cash, plus $5 for pain and suffering. I stood there speechless as she screamed at the customer service manager, said she would call corporate and have them all fired, etc. Finally she was asked to leave and loss prevention came to escort us out. I had to physically pull her along to get her out before it became a police issue. Second example, we went out to eat at a restaurant. She likes her burger well done. There was a trace of pink in the middle. No biggie, just send it back. Right? Not for her. She rebutted the waitress's offer to get her a new burger, said she was not going to wait, and wanted our whole meal comped. This led to the manager coming out, who offered to comp her half of the meal. She became incensed and started screaming again. When the manager refused to comp the whole meal, she flew from her seat, swept a stack of napkins off the table, and declared she was never eating at this establishment again. I followed her out, still hungry, in stunned silence. I became even more stunned when she angrily connived in the car to claim that she had found an insect in her food and doxed the manager on social media. I literally do not recognize this vile woman. In literally every other situation in life, even stressful ones, she's perfectly ordinary. But as soon as she expects a service, and does not get absolute perfection, she acts as though she's been confronted with a cosmic injustice. I am disgusted by the way she talks to service workers. She acts like they are worthless pieces of shit. We've talked about it, of course. I've noticed she immediately turns to me and begins trying to rationalize her escalations. That was ridiculous, right? How can a business treat their customers like that? You think I was too harsh? And I've always responded the same way. I would not have reacted like that because I didn't think it was a big deal. I've never gone farther than that because I have a bad feeling about the outcome if I did. I have so much anxiety about taking her out to eat, and I've avoided doing so specifically because of her outrageous behavior. COVID has been a lifesaver in this regard. But I can't keep dodging these situations and restricting my life because of my JFS behavior. Frankly, this has even started to hurt our sex life. I am not as attracted to her as I once was, specifically because I'm horrified and embarrassed by her public meltdowns. And I do not understand how one specific situation can be so triggering for an otherwise normal person. It seems like, as soon as we walk into a store or restaurant, she's already decided that the staff is her enemy. Just today, she yelled at a poor call center worker because one of our packages was late. I am at a loss as to how to approach this. Again, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I feel like I would be talking about a whole different person if I brought this up while she was in her normal state. But I know I have to address it, somehow. We've discussed getting engaged in the future, and this issue is affecting other areas of our relationship. How do I approach this?